3 fun facts about the production of my new song Miatafahrt am Abend. Fun fact number 1. Going into the second chorus, I decided to release some tension by giving a break to the drums and bass.
Das, was von dir bleibt, was Geschichte schreibt, einmal MX5.
It also opens up the space for new elements, so I added this hard acid up. It's basically just a typical Synth 1 acid patch being randomized by Bitspeek in 16th notes with mostly even harmonics distortion. It receives its sequence from Blue Arp preset. Also, I added a compressor to it, sidechained from the kick.
Immer durch die Nacht, wenn das Feuer der Straße entfacht.
Standard in my workflow, but then I noticed a problem. When the drums kicked in again, the acid line stressed me out while listening to the vocals.
Und der Rest, immer durch die Nacht, wenn das Feuer der Straße entfacht, denk ich an die MX5. Und der Rest, immer durch die Nacht.
Maybe it's just because I care a little bit more about lyrics lately, but vocals seem to need a bit more space than other instruments. So I automated the release time of the compressor. The shortest release time of the compressor kicks in with the drums, and it makes sure that the acid line pumps up fairly quickly. That makes the compressor almost invisible to the listener. But then the release time modulates up to higher and higher values, where it takes longer and longer for the gain reduction to arrive back at 0 decibels. At the end of the sequence, the release time is so long that the overall gain drops, and it feels like the acid line is slowly flying backwards, hiding in the clouds.
Und der Rest, immer durch die Nacht, wenn das Feuer der Straße entfacht, denk ich an dich bei einer Miatafahrt.
I rarely ever automate a parameter in a compressor, but this automation seems to reveal a really useful way to fade out sounds. Fun fact number 2. The main vocals of the song are laser as fuck, aren't they? They actually sound like this.
Ich hab Zeit für mich und ich genieße es.
Ne Miatafahrt am Abend, ich lass die Reifen qualmen. Ich denke an dich, wie's dir wohl geht.
Das, was von dir bleibt,
Nach all der Zeit ist nur der MX5.
noch du bleibt. Ich fahr durch die Nacht,
Wenn der Miata erwacht,
denk ich an dich bei einer Miatafahrt.
The reason for that is called Bitspeek. It's a plugin made by Sonic Charge that I have used for vocals a lot of times already. In terms of sound character, it can only be compared to Vocodyne, which emulates a talkbox sound on your voice.
Miatafahrt am Abend, tut der Seele gut. Ich hab Zeit für mich und ich genieße es. Ne Miatafahrt am Abend, ich lass die Reifen qualmen. Ich denke an dich, wie's dir wohl geht. Das, was von dir bleibt, nach all der Zeit, ist nur der MX5. Noch der bleibt, ich fahr durch die Nacht, wenn der Miata erwacht, denk ich an dich bei einer Miatafahrt.
On the website, it says Bitspeek is a pitch-excited linear prediction codec effect, and that this algorithm is also used in phones and toys. I don't know what that implies, but it sounds cool in theory and, most importantly, in praxis. The plugin has a cool-looking interface with useful parameters. For example, a detune knob, which transforms your voice into a happy unison synth.
Und ich genieße es. Ne Miatafahrt am Abend, ich lass die Reifen qualmen. Ich denke an dich, wie's dir wohl geht. das, was von dir bleibt, nach all der Zeit.
But unfortunately, none of these knobs, not even the D-tune, add stereo width to the signal. So I stereo splitted the Bitspeek instance, and then I gave one of the instances a slightly slower frame rate. Which means that the pitch-excited linear prediction codec effect that is also used in phones and toys updates itself slightly slower, and that means the vocals are now wide.
Ich lass die Reifen qualmen, ich denke an dich, wie's dir wohl geht.
Fun fact number 3. I just tested a new free plugin called Desert Resonator by Marcus Rivas. The interface shows a western night atmosphere. It depicts an alternative universe in which the gravitational pull between the Earth and Moon is stronger. And it comes with a wavetable synthesizer, a physical modeling stage, a low-pass filter, and a flanger. Early into testing this plugin I realized that there is no point in trying to learn what each knob does specifically, because they seem to be macros for underlying modulations, so it's more about feeling into the intention of the parameters. So I went into guitar player mode and just twisted knobs like I wanna rip them out of the interface, and I created this spacey layer for the bridge sleeve. I decided to use this patch, where in regular intervals some massive feedback tosses itself into the sound. I used an envelope follower modulator on my vibrato plugin Nell, so that the feedback parts tend to sound a bit less flat. And I LCR'd and faded the entire thing to finalize the appearance in the composition. Alright, now I have enriched your life with 3 fun facts about the production of Miatafahrt am Abend, and I hope to see you next time when I do things with plugins and Miatas and stuff.